because the offensive line has a bunch of new starters. Last year, Sam was a guy who was able to throw well when pressured. So why was he good when pressured? It seemed he was pretty accurate when pressured, whereas a lot of times guys would freak out. Why is he good when pressured?
Well, I mean, obviously, the talent part of it, he sees extremely well. I think T does a great job. We do a great job of giving a lot of easy access throws where he can get the ball out right now if he needs to. And that helps a lot. That lets him be a little more comfortable in knowing that, hey, if I do have pressure right now, I know there's somewhere I can go with the football. And that I think that's helped a lot with him. But he's always been a guy that, he's has great vision, great reaction skills. That's the best thing he does is react. And it's very, very hard to get a beat on him in that way.
What's considered like an easy access throw?
Well, like we'll give him an easy flat, like a 1 to 3 yard flat, or we'll give him a swing route with the back. You'll let the tight end run like a little stop route at 4 or 5 yards. Things that he knows I can go right now with the ball if it's not happening how I want it to happen. And he has such great timing that when he puts it on them, those guys now have time to react before the defenders can get there. So I think that's helped a lot when he was younger last year. The young offensive line coming in, I think they're doing a really good job. So I think we got a little depth there this year, and it's still early in camp. And I think by the time we hit the season, everybody will be full steam ahead, and he'll have some good time back there.
As an offensive staff, do you ever look at it in a way where our offensive line is young and there may be an adjustment period, and we're fortunate to have Sam who can navigate pressures? Like, does that give you assurance? I don't know.
Oh yeah, I mean, anytime you have a really good quarterback that's a trigger man, it always gives you insurance to know that, hey, you're going to be okay, that he's going to take care of you if things break down, that he'll make it happen. And I think, though, at the same time, the young guys are really talented. They're learning fast, and he feels comfortable with those guys, and he knows that they're going to be pretty good when the season starts.
Is it tough for a QB to have rotating centers much? Is that it?
As long as they're accurate. As long as they're accurate. I think he has such a good relationship with Nico and Toa, and those guys have been doing it for a while, and so there's not any issue there as far as if it's Toa or Nico. They seem to do fine with it.
Clay, shifting gears, Clay was mentioning last week when you guys recruit tight ends, one of the things you primarily look for is guys who can catch, like receiving skills is the top priority, and you'll teach them blocking later. Is
the big part of this offense is you have to have a tight end that can stretch the middle of the field. When you have that, it puts extreme pressure on the defense because now he's a vertical threat. You have to decide, hey, am I going to roll a safety down and play one high and try to stop the run, and if you do, we're going to burn you, or am I going to play too high and then we're going to run the ball on you? So the tight end dictates a lot of that. If an opposing defense turns on the film and they can see a tight end can stretch the middle of the field, that gives them issues, and that's a big part of what we do.
Did you have a similar philosophy at Western Kentucky? Because Tyler Higbee put up a bunch of yards.
Yeah, we did, and really what's great about our offense is when we got here between T, Clay, myself, it was just a great knowledge of ideas, things we've had success with. The offenses were similar in a lot of sense, and we just took the best of what everybody did, and it's been really good playing. And we're still growing with it. I think there's a lot of things that we can still do with it, and it's cool to see that happening out here now. The more knowledge Sam gets, the more and more we get to put on him. It's really neat. It gives us more advantages.
How different is your job this year opposed to like a year ago when there's a quarterback battle and all that, and you have an established quarterback who's a star now? Like, how different is it for you out here?
For me, my approach week to week stays the same. I don't change my attitude about who's the quarterback or how I approach things. Tuesday's a Tuesday. That's a first, second down day for me, and that's how I game plan. And so I approach it the same way. I don't change anything that I do. I think having Sam at quarterback, though, it does allow you to sit back and say, hey, let's be a little more creative on how we're doing some things and what we're doing, just because he can handle them. And so you're constantly looking for new ideas. You're constantly examining, hey, what are other people doing? What are some new things out there that maybe we're not doing? So you're able to stretch your wings a little bit and come out of your comfort zone a little bit because you have a guy like Sam that you know is going to handle it. But as far as the week to week, I stay the same, never change.
What about with the backup quarterbacks? How much time is kind of dedicated to figuring out
really,
who the number two guy?
A lot, and that's a great question. A lot of the time, you know, it's Sam in a meeting. You know, he and I, we can converse on a couple things, but most of the time I'm talking to those young guys, especially in camp. Now, as we get into the season, that conversation moves towards Sam and game planning, what he likes and what we want to do. But it's really a lot of it's all about the young guys and having those conversations. And Sam adds in on those and gives his input. And so when we're in those meetings, it's great to have that because you have a guy that obviously has had a lot of experience, and it's good to have his viewpoint on. He's the one out there playing, and he'll tell you, hey, I would have done this. Or, so that's really good too.
Is there a different thought sometimes, like you felt one guy might be ahead and he's like, no, I see what he's doing here, and you're like, oh yeah, you're right. Or,
no, you know, I think it's the whole body of work.
Yeah.
You know, a guy's going to have a good day, and then he may have a bad day, and then at the end you look at the whole body of work. But you know, Sam's just really good about offering input to a guy when he needs it, and he feels like he needs it. You know, the other day he was talking to Jack about a throw he made, and you know, it was cool to listen to that conversation, and you could really tell he was mentoring Jack and trying to help him and make him better, and Jack was understanding that and really took to that, so that was really neat to see.
do you feel like the backup quarterback, if there's opportunities, would be able to play a little bit more? I think historically at USC you haven't seen a lot of that, and I think it wasn't great for Max Brown.
Right.
Is that like part of the plan?
Well,
to get
yeah, it's always a part of the plan. You hope offensively, hey, you win every game. You hope you put up a ton of points, and you hope the starter gets to come out early in the fourth or late in the third, and then the young guy gets to go in, whoever the backup is, and he gets good quality reps, and that helps build your football team. So that's always the plan, and hopefully we get to do some of that this year for sure. Thanks, guys. Appreciate it.